Yes, Sir Hairless here. We are back today with Lara Fabian, and this is a Patreon request, so thank you for this one. It's a newer song, relatively speaking, compared to most Lara videos we've done on this channel, which are mostly from the beginning of the century. This song was released in 2013, and the video is called The In-Studio Making of I Am Awa. I'm told that the concept of Awa is explained at the end of the video, so we will see that at the end. But the summary is, it's an ancient Japanese teaching that Lara learned from a friend who was a student of the philosophy to give her even more emotion and self-worth. I always say she's pretty much the most emotional singer I think I've ever seen. I'm told this video is the actual making of the song in the studio live, and we get to see the song's composer, Manu Pitois, which is cool because he was the pianist I saw at the Lara concert earlier this year. If you're interested, I made a couple of videos on that, so feel free to check them out. And finally, this video was put together by the Lara Fabian superfans, Kevin and Eric, so thank you to them for this.
On y va, Chris?
The space in the dark, search for your own spark. Enter the splash of your whole undivided mind. Don't pray for love and love yourself. Don't kill your pain, make it your strength.
Oh, I think it's a dramatic song. Dramatic is just the word that comes to mind. Usually when I hear a song for the first time, a word comes to mind. I don't know why my brain does that or works like that. Maybe it's the same for all of us. Drama, dramaticism, dramatique, you know, all of that stuff is coming to mind with this one. Let's do our first pause here. There's some, well, a lot of interesting things with this song. And because it's Lara and she's just such an expressive, emotive, good singer. Every phrase she does is different. So calculated, so articulated. One example on the word ruthless that we just heard.
Your throne, your kingdom will be ruthless.
So much difference between the two syllables of the word. Ruthless, straight tone, no vibrato in there.
Kingdom will be ruthless.
And then less, how the vowel sound changes. The S is not a like strong sibilance like that. Almost a bit more of a sh type sound. You can see her jaw shape changing for it. This is just one example. As I was listening to the first, we listened to about 1 minute and 46 seconds, I think, where we paused. And as I was listening, in a way, I was sort of thinking every line she was singing, oh, how am I going to choose what to talk about? So I just can't talk about everything. Let's go back to this line, hear your wisdom calling within. Let's keep in mind the song, I Am Awa. Awa being a philosophical construct, if you will. A state of being, mental being perhaps. So let's listen to this line. Hear your wisdom calling within. It's being instructive, right? It's telling us what to do. I will try not to be instructive. I will try not to say this is what it means because I don't know what it means. The song's creator and Lara, the performer, know what it means. All I can do is talk about the music, what we're hearing, and then we make our own decisions or judgments based on it. I will be focusing on the use of straight tone versus vibrato. I don't know why. It's just what has stood out to me the most.
Your wisdom calling within, holding your every desire, playing with your morning heart.
the strength of some of the sounds versus the relative weakness. Because it's her, every sound she makes is powerful. One of the teachings I remember most from when I was young was being told that volume does not necessarily equate to power. Good singers can really give off the feeling of quietness and what that might represent in the song, if it's being timid or weak or soft or loving. But in terms of the decibels, the actual volume levels, they might not be singing that quietly. And it all comes down to technique, you know, a multitude of things. Vowel sound, mouth shape, straight tone, vibrato, all of that. And Lara, in that phrase we just heard, demonstrated that perfectly. It seemed like she was going from contrast to contrast, loud to quiet, but in reality, I'm not so sure she was. It's all down to the control and how she's able to manipulate that sound. The song itself, before we carry on, a lot of interesting things, like I said, so I'll just kind of go through and point out the more interesting ones. So the opening is very pensive, self-explanatory, and Lara seems to be, you know, almost getting into character by doing that. Eyes closed. Interesting opening N, and the elongated part of the word is that N sound. That's not typically something you'd expect to elongate when singing. Normally it's the open vowels, enter, not enter. And the piano underneath, we get this idea. Over and over and over. Crescendoing in.
Enter the space in the dark.
And now it's moving up. We have our first harmonic change, space in the dark, the beat very subtle in the background, kind of like a bass pedal type sound, no harsh percussion yet. The bass part jumping between the octaves. Next line.
Search for your own spark.
It's, I think why I'm struggling to think of words to phrase this is because the music is quite conflicting. We have this really magical, arpeggiated figure in the right hand over and over that gives the song the majority of its energy. Her melody is not particularly energetic. It's not supposed to be, considering the subject matter. There's no real percussion yet, as I said. And we listen to that piano bass part. It's quite, well, it's brutalistic. Dum, just really heavy notes. Dum, playing, loud, loud, loud. These ideas, loud, disjointed bass part, very magical, really energetic right hand and then slow moving melody. They shouldn't really work together, but they do. It creates quite a mystical feeling overall. It's really, really interesting.
Don't pray for love and love yourself. Don't kill your pain, make it your strength.
Lovely phrases in there, repetition now. I loved the way she was singing the word love previously.
Love and love yourself.
It's so pinpoint. Then there are all these other subtle additions, such as extra vocal harmonies in the background that we've been hearing. I'm gonna be talking all day, so let's carry on with the actual song.
Most of your dreams will be shattered by a guess. Your crimes will deny how splendid you are. You will be human. Oh, fear no fear. Oh, fear no fear. Oh, yeah. Oh, the light of your heart, of yourself. Oh, yeah. Most of your memories, your spirit is my own. Oh, yeah. All of your senses, a stranger's part. I am your other half, your home.
J'en profite vu qu'il y a une caméra, qu'on doit être complètement naturel, pour te dire que tu es un génie.
Ah, je me suis.
Et comme ça sera sur, sur la bande.
Ok, bon, alors dis comme ça.
Tu es un génie. Tu es un putain de génie. J'ai une chance extraordinaire. Donc alors c'est tous les deux, mais je peux te dire, c'est le plus bel album que j'ai jamais fait. Cheers. Merci.
The subtitles are embedded, but just in case anyone did not or could not read them, she's basically saying, I'm taking this opportunity on camera to call you a bloody genius. You are a genius. And that's Manu, the composer of the song and her pianist in the Lara concert that I saw recently. Ooh. There we are, back into the next chorus, I am Awa. Just before that though, I mean, Lara has an immensely powerful voice. I say this in every video, particularly her chest voice. I don't hear too much of her pure head voice really. And the beginning of this this vocalization, we are hearing, and this note just beneath it, for context, is the highest note your typical chorister is expected to sing. This note above it is typically the top of your soprano's register. So it's very high. We're very clearly hearing that. But now underneath is the octave down, this B flat. And this B flat is right in that sweet spot of Lara's prime power range to be belted. So I have no idea what's going on here. Typically something like this would be the result of harmonics, but being, you know, a studio recording, I would imagine that it's multi-tracking put together. So she's sung high up and then the lower part is now basically being blended in through, but it creates a really interesting effect that can confuse listeners such as myself. Yeah, I mean, speaking of the power, let's go back to the previous chorus. The Lara-izations, as I will call them. I've mentioned them in a lot of my videos, and you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, which is fair because I've never once actually spoken about them. I just say, you know what I mean. But it's this kind of mini growl we get as she slides up to these belted notes. You know, like that, they're moving up. Of your heart, of your soul. She didn't use them at all in the second part of that phrase. This phrase was interesting. She repeated it, so let's listen to both names. Very interesting sound on the here, fear. To me, that's quite typical of the Canadian accent, certain areas of Canada especially compared to America, for example. And it's similar in style to the opening word enter, where the consonant is elongated. And here it's the sound. Normally it'd be here, not here. So it's an affectation very consciously put in, I'm sure, creates for an interesting sound, especially from a lyrical perspective. Anyway, I'm here, no fear. Four, we're thinking in fours or twos. I'm here, no fear. But in terms of the rhythms, the time signature, it's in three that we're thinking. I'm 2, 3, here 2, 3, boom, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So when I first heard that, I did think it was quite interesting doing that. And just to go back again a little bit, I'll just play from here. We do now have the percussion coming in, which adds a great deal of intensity to the music. I think we can all agree in that the sound is larger in general. And that piano arpeggiated idea, crimes will deny how splendid you are, is now moved down lower into the strings for an even more intense sound. The piano part I showed at the beginning, again, thinking in terms of fours. So let's listen to that beginning bit again, and you'll hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Creating natural syncopations because fundamentally the rhythms are different. Now let's move a bit later on. You will be human. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this subtle rhythmic change in the very energetic part underneath everything. I won't go into too much detail. I've explained it in many videos of mine before, but it's the idea of compound time. But at the beginning, you take this idea of 4, play it 3 times. That's a total of 12. 3 lots of 4 giving us 12. But this new idea, you You play it 4 times to get the same total of 12. The idea of 4 versus 3. Because music, at the very core of everything, even before the harmony, comes the rhythmic structure. Okay, let's carry on from the R line and listen to the violins as well. Like daggers almost. So rhythmic. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now. You can see in the subtitles there, thank you to Kevin and Eric again, they've put in the note for us there. E flat 5. The wow operatic tenor moment I often include a clip of is down here. So she's a minor third above that. This is super high for belting. Ooh.
Elle est sublime cette chanson. Franchement, bravo à Jenny Kluwer sur le coup de cette mélodie réadaptée. Là.
C'est un coup de génie.
Et puis ton arrangement est magistral, Manu. Magistral. C'est tellement juste, c'est tellement ce qu'il fallait. Elle est extraordinaire cette chanson.
Ah, c'est magnifique.
Oh, so Manu
Elle a la taille porte-clôturée.
Elle a la
arranged it instead of wrote it. Well, I'm not so sure. I just googled I Am Awa original and it's coming up as Lara Fabian.
taille pour tout clôturer, c'est juste.
Right, so here is an in-depth description of Awa, what it is. I'm not going to read this out. It's paused on the screen now, so have a pause and a read. Or, of course, if you want to see it for yourself, I will leave a link to this original video in the description, so you can check it out there. I've just had a read, and the question I was just asking is answered here. The song composition is from Jenny Kluwer, who co-wrote the lyrics with Lara. Yeah, it's really an interesting song, a song that's very different to most songs I think that we would have heard. Definitely a song more stylistically similar to performers such as Dimash or Lara, who would perform it rather than popular artists, and definitely a difficult song to sing as well. I mean, the range and the depth of the sound and the power with which she's belting.
Oh, yeah. All of your senses, the strangest part.
And underneath, everything has just grown. Every instrument on an individual level. The soundscape, the texture's just thickened. The bass line in the piano that I was pointing out earlier, dum, dum. Now it's melodic, it's moving, it's flowing. The harmony seems much more natural in terms of its movement. And I think the last thing to really discuss is the very interesting... Oh, we still have the rhythmic energy of the piano underneath. Very heavily treated, obviously the vocals, and then the next time she sings it, you can really hear the multiple layers and slightly delayed one behind another to exaggerate that fact, I guess. And again, this type of sound, it's reminding me of like in a film, if there's a spirit or a ghost or something else out of this plane, something ethereal, that's the kind of sound it would have, which I guess is the effect. And of course we finish with the heartbeat going on in there. Intense stuff, very dramatic. Always cool to see in studio videos like this, especially when it's the actual recording, them doing it live. Thank you again to Kevin and Eric for creating this video, putting it up there with the subtitles. Let me know your thoughts on this song. Comments and likes really help with the algorithm. If you don't want to comment any words, let's just leave a microphone emoji like you see on the screen here. It would help with the algorithm and push my video to others to see. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.